Welcome to another edition of Your Impact Attack. That's right, it's Your Impact Attack. And the VBC is back once again on a Monday. How's everybody doing? I'm the V in the VBC, the vet JB Williams. With me, as always, my tag team partner, Brandon, a hot tag. Coming through the magic of the internet. Brandon, that's hot. What's going on? Come in and clean house, pal.
Oh man, it's been a weekend, pal. We had some fun with HMG After Dark. Did Lucha Underground. Did some Shorzy and Trailer Park Boys. Lucha Underground got to the point where we started seeing people get killed off.
Oh, yes. Very nice. And I'm sure that you had some people watching that along with you, or at least listening to you watch it over with the C and the VBC. The chat is here. Who do we have with us this evening joining us?
Let's see who's hanging and chilling with us tonight. We got Liz. We got Lab Rat. We got Javi Uchiha. And I'm sure more will start coming in later as we kick it off. Whoop, whoop.
All right. Well, that's a big trinity there of people that we've got. That's a Hall of Fame three, the big three. Yeah,
That'd be the triple threat, pal.
Yeah, the triple threat. Is that a hot heel tag? Oh yes, we're Megan Bain over here. Um, so yeah. Ooh, no. You got to make people pay for that. You can't just give that away for free. That's an OnlyFans thing, Brandon. Come on.
OnlyHMG.com.
Yes, that's right. But anyway, so yeah. And Todd Brantley makes a four horseman. All right. So, let's see. Yeah, he says let's talk about it, but what do we talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? I mean, is there any particular special news or events or anything that we should be discussing right now? Because as I'm looking through the headline items, I'm not really seeing anything. What should we talk about? What is important? Anything happened this past weekend? Did anybody's wife return? I don't know.
Dude, I'd love a partner Rodriguez film. That'd be fantastic.
Independent wrestler Jaka passed away recently. I'm afraid I'm not familiar. I did see something about there was an All Japan wrestler as well that he passed away recently. Um, his name was Taishi Nagao, and I guess he was in an accident where he was hit by a tour bus 3 months ago, and he'd been in the hospital all this time, and he just recently passed. He was 21, which, man, that's too young. But unfortunately, it happens. These kinds of things happen every day. That's why I always say, be careful out there. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. I'm not sure about the other incident, the other situation, but well, that's a bummer to start with. But I don't really. Let's see. Labrat said Wardlow's hurt. Is he hurt already? Did he hurt himself with those shitty punches?
Yep. I'm not sure what it was that did it, but he's got a torn pec.
Great. Great. A torn pec. How did this couldn't there's no way did he do this in his return? Like,
No, I think it was like it's some. Actually, let me look it up.
he hasn't done anything.
So I think it was like an untelevised event or some indie show.
The hell is he doing at an indie show? Well, Liz says that I guess it was doing that stuff he did. Maybe when he throws that big stupid clothesline where he rears back with both arms. Maybe he tore his pec. Oh boy, yeah. AEW's got some bad luck with injuries lately. There you go.
Oh, geez, really? Wow. First thing you make your return. First thing you do is tear your pec.
Yeah, clotheslining the manager. Well, these kind of things happen every day. Got to be careful. Wow. It's interesting too because he's so he looks so fat. Um, so I assumed he was off of some stuff because of how fat he was. But oh well. Yeah, there's not too much that Wardlow can do as far as finding a new career. Is Todd Brantley suggesting he find a new career because, well, I mean, what would you want him to do? You think he could tear a pec serving drinks, you know? If he's a bartender. Just, he shakes the martini too hard. And he also, I mean, he's going to be on that American Gladiators cuz that's where he was when he was gone whenever that show comes on. But that stuff was all, you know, pre-recorded, so he'll have functioning pecs in that one, I would imagine. Oh, yeah, we'll see. Well, I guess not a lot of not a lot of news. Brandon, do you have anything? Anything you want to talk about? Yeah.
Not really, but I will comment on the Wardlow situation as far as him in the wrestling business. I think probably his best option if he wants to stay in wrestling, wait for his AEW contract to run out or try to get out of it as soon as he can. Try to get into TNA to kind of rub some of that stink off of him and make himself look good to where WWE would want to sign him.
Do you really think that do you really think that how do I want to ask this? Are they that big of marks that they need him to go somewhere to know if he's got something or not? Like I think like they've had enough of a sample size if they were interested. Um but again, he's just like another guy that I don't know. There's only so much talent you can have. You don't need every single person that becomes available, and not even in like a TNA. Like what it remember Big Con? Remember when that was supposed to be a thing?
Oh, dude, that ended up going so. That was so bad.
Yeah, it never went anywhere. And Jake something nowhere. They have people that look like they don't know how to book anybody. So TNA ain't gonna help. I don't know. It's an interesting time because with all these companies, I don't really see any of them doing anything right. It's like everything is just I don't know, it seems completely random. Like if somebody gets a push or if something works or whatever. I don't feel like anybody's doing a good job right now. So Everybody has the same. Everybody has the same chance. If you show up to work and do your best, you kind of all have the same chance. So I don't know, like Wardlow, I don't know what you would use to sell him because he's big, but he's not that big. You know, he's just another white guy. He's got a man. He's got a man. Well, it's not like a bun, but it's like a. Well, it's kind of a bun.
A
He's got,
mantail?
yeah, he's got that. Yeah, he's just got that pulled up hair look. There's just I don't know. There's just not. Wardlow was something in AEW, and AEW had a bunch of nothing. Now AEW has a bunch of something. They don't know what to do with any of it, and he's just another guy there. And now he got hurt again. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the answer either. But as Liz says, at least he tans under his arm. So there you go, right there. He's doing better than a lot of people. He's doing better than little Braun Breaker. So yeah, like why would you want a Wardlow when you have a Braun? You know, like isn't he fulfilling whatever role that Wardlow could even hope to play all by himself? Like and he's in like the top heel group in wrestling right now, I guess, if you want to call it that. So I just don't see a use for Wardlow particularly, but I'm sure he'll land on his feet and he'll be fine. I don't know what else. Anything else? We could have a record short Impact Attack this week because we really don't. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of stuff to chew on.
Yeah, unfortunately, did not give us a whole lot. What's up, RBV? Good to see you, pal. Whoop whoop.
That's right. The real RBV in the house. He's the real one. Don't fall for the fake imitator RBVs. We don't like that. All right. Well, fuck it. This show is quickly going down the toilet, so let's get to the TNA wrestling part and flesh it completely. So we get we're starting out the show and we have like all the TNA champions on the stage. This is a live episode from I guess it's Minneapolis.
Yes, yeah, the Army at Minneapolis.
So everybody's out on stage because we're starting the show sad because there was some sort of a school attack, and they have made a benefit t-shirt to help raise funds for everybody, and everybody's out there just on stage, somber read from Tom Hannafin, and so we get that to start, and then we get the ketchup packet. The ketchup packet comes after we're already in a sad mood. All right, like, hey guys, people died. Here's a way you can raise money. Now let's get to TNA wrestling. So it's perfect. I mean, yeah, we could have done that off air. Who knows? Maybe they did that off air. Because let me tell you, the feed I watched of this had a lot of dead air. I don't know about you guys, because if you watched on, I don't know, what channel are they even on anymore? I don't even know.
Access, but we watched it on YouTube. They played on their YouTube channel.
So it played through on YouTube, right? And did they have those gaps where they just showed the ring
and
for minutes at a time?
Yep, and like there's a shot like from the top towards the stage, or like from the balcony.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well then, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was the most awkward shit I've ever seen.
I gotta believe like that was the Access commercial break.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. But why would they show that? Uh if they don't have to. I don't know.
Yeah, why not put a package together? Just like something, or do like have some backstage interviews, or just fill it with something.
Yep. No, they instead if you didn't see it, they just had static shots of the ring. Like in all the commercial break spots, which was very strange.
And awkward as fuck.
Mm-hmm. But it at least allowed me to just get past all that. So Santino comes out. He says that for the Bound for Glory main event, it's going to be Tricky Williams versus Mike Santana for the TNA Championship in a one-on-one match. So, what, we already knew that? I don't know why this is an announcement, but like,
Well, at least because he got interrupted last week by the lawyer, and then he hit him with the Cobra, and then they went off the air before he could pick up a microphone and just do it right there.
so we just assumed it. He never actually said it last week. I couldn't even have bothered to care. I thought he did say it. Well, whatever. We all knew it. It's not like we didn't know it. So he's out here to make it official. And then Mike Santana comes out and he gets hype and says some words. And then there that is. Anything to say about this?
I mean, it was what it was. Santana was his usual good, fired up self, and Santino doing the best he can with what he's got and trying to be entertaining.
Yeah, Santino's always entertaining, at least. We have the Hardys and Mara Sade with Gia, no music underneath. Basically, what they say amounts to, "How dare you, Agent Zero? How dare you?" And then there was an awkward out where the camera was just holding on Gia for like several seconds after everything was done, and she was just sitting there smiling. It wouldn't be a live TNA without people not.
Yeah, at least one production error.
Mm-hmm.
So you even hear somebody in the background like yelling, "All right, cut."
It's great. Yeah, it was funny. Gia asking her how she's feeling, like after he took her head off with a clothesline. She's like, yeah, well, I'm here. Yeah, like, yeah. Well, that's gonna be even funnier later. So, there's a bonding moment between Santana and Moose. It's our only Moose sighting, where they're kind of hanging out, and then AJ Francis comes in, the third most important AJ in wrestling these days. Now he's been bumped down the list recently. So yeah, he basically comes in and says some, talks some shit to Moose. Moose challenges him to a match. Of course, that's going to be next week, though. So this was your one Moose sighting because, again, like I said, TNA knows exactly what to do with all the stars.
Yep. Keep them in short backstage segments, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of keep this guy backstage, Ryan Ziegler comes out and he says that his big brother returns tonight. And then Matt Cardona comes out and says, "Get out of here. Get out of my ring." And then he gets in the ring and he bonks Ryan on the head with the microphone. And then Frankie Kazarian comes out because that's who he's supposed to wrestle. And it's Frankie Kazarian versus Matt Cardona. And it's Frankie Kazarian versus Matt Cardona. AKA, this could have been a main event anywhere on Velocity. Any what would you like to say about the Cardona versus Kazarian Classic?
Serviceable TV match.
You could say that about everything in TNA. Almost everything. Oh God. Yeah, that's it. No, you don't want to elaborate, or
Yeah, I'm sorry. They gave us. I'm sorry, they gave us nothing to work with tonight. Like it was pretty much paint by numbers.
yeah. Well, the good news is I'll
Which
be
can be a
back.
good thing at times, but the lazy paint by numbers like tonight was. Sorry, I cut out there.
Yeah. Well, the picture froze, but I could hear you.
Okay, cool. Having some internet issues.
Yeah. No, I get it. It was so here's the funny thing. If I really want to talk about this match, which I don't, but if I did, what I would say was I saw, you know, every once in a while you see something that you go, wow, I've never seen that before, and then once you've seen it, you're like, there's a reason I've never seen that before. And I don't know how Killer Kowalski feels about this, but they did a spot, and I cannot believe I saw this. It was 3 double downs in a row. Like they did, and I'm not saying they did a double down, sold it, got to their feet slowly, did another double down. No. They did 3 double downs in rapid succession and didn't sell 2 of them. Like they just got right up. So like the first one was they both went for a crossbody at the same time. Then they get up and then they go and double clothesline each other. And then they get up and then they do a double boot, like a double big boot, and knock each other down. Now, this isn't like, you know, one of these 20-something-year-old indie fucks doing this. This is Frankie Kazarian and Matt Cardona. Somebody thought it would be a good idea between these two guys that are got to be the combined age of 80 at least, at the very least. They're over 80 years old combined, and they know better, and they're doing this. It's a rib. It has to be a rib. Because I don't even think if there was a producer that told them to do this or suggested this, that they wouldn't have just like, you know, laughed at him or whatever. But they did it. And, you know, what can you say? This is one of those things that like sometimes I have the, you know, I come on here every week multiple times and I talk about what these guys aren't doing. And I have that imposter syndrome of like, yeah, but Ved, who did you ever beat? You're just some guy. You were in the business for like the blink of an eye. You barely did anything. And who are you to criticize all these people? You know? And then they do something like this. And I'm like, yeah, no, I guess I somehow, I guess all that being said about me, I still am better than them some way, you know, in some way, at least I understand. You know, maybe I didn't get the delicious tan, but, you know, I don't know. So fuck these guys. Anyways, Ryan Ziegler does a jump up. Well, we can't just have 3 double downs. We got to have 2 jump ups. So Ryan jumps up once, doesn't lead to anything. A near fall, I guess. Frankie Kazarian does like a slingshot cutter to Matt Cardona. Which the optics of that are ridiculous since he's much larger, but whatever. Doesn't matter. That's a near fall. But then Ryan Ziegler jumps up again. And then Frankie can hit the fade to black and get a win here over Mr. Always Ready. Yeah.
That was weird because it's usually been established that if a referee sees somebody getting involved in the match, they throw him out.
Yeah, well.
Guess not tonight.
I guess not tonight. Well, you know these refs, right? They're not the best. These are like the refs you get when the scab referees don't show up. When the scab referees go on strike, then you get these runs. So yeah, so Gia's there. Gia on the spot. roving reporter Gia. She's asking Frankie Kazarian, "Did you know you were going to be getting help in this match?" And he's like, "This isn't, man, you suck at your job. Here, I'll show you how it's done." And he interviews himself. So he's like, "Hey, Frankie, what are you going to do next?" It's like, "Oh, thank you, Frankie. I'm going to go for the International Championship with Burt Macklin." And then Burt Macklin comes out and he gets in the ring and lays the belt down and is like, "Come on." And of course, Frankie Kazarian does not, in fact, come on. He leaves. So there you go. There was all of that. Are you excited at the prospect of Frankie Kazarian versus Burt Macklin FBI for the International Championship, formerly the Digital Media Championship?
Shut up and take my money.
I will definitely take your money, but I've got another half a podcast to do. So, inspiration promo. I have no notes on the inspiration promo.
No, just a basic generic pre-tape of them cutting a promo.
Yes, as the inspiration. Inspiration. Heatwave ketchup. Yep. We have to remind everybody what happened. Ash won the title. We have an elegance celebration, an elebration, if you will. I don't know if Liz would probably appreciate this if she watched it. I don't know if she watched it, but as Ash was coming out to the ring, Matthew Raywalt was describing her and used some lyrics from K-pop Demon Hunter songs to punch up her presentation, I guess. So they do. This is so because it's the Elegance brand, you know that we're gonna have some terrible television here. Now, this wasn't as bad as, say, the infamous cardboard scene with Danny Luna and Jody Threat that happened. But it's definitely always, they're building a top 10 reasons why, these people should never be let on broadcast ever again. So they're up to probably a good 4 or 5 by now. This would have been one of them. They have the whole table with a bunch of stuff on it. The concierge reveals a portrait, a very regal looking portrait that was made of Ash. And he says they had made some custom champagne. So it's champagne by Elegance. What's up, Charles?
Which was very obviously another bottle with their picture taped over it.
Right. Yes. Just ha 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 ha. Masha Slamovich comes out saying the most generic stuff in the world. She crashes the party, goes in there, starts beating everybody up or trying to, and then eventually she gets, taken down. And then the Zayas have to come in, and then the inspiration has to come in, and everybody just runs off the Elegance brand, and then they all destroy the portrait. The nice commissioned portrait that was on a piece of poster board, apparently. I guess it wasn't that. It wasn't that great. So I was embarrassed. Were you embarrassed?
The only thing that was missing was the concierge in the portrait too, with his shirt off and completely ripped and jacked.
Yeah, we've already got somebody doing the portrait gimmick way better on a different channel. Yeah, I just don't know. But the fact is they did do that, and whatever they did to do that was a waste of the time that they took to do that. But go ahead.
I was also pointed out too in the chat during that night, I remember that they missed the whole spot with you break the portrait over Ash's head and she has her head popping up where her head's supposed to be.
Yes. A classic. You couldn't get any more I Love Lucy than that. So,
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
seriously. I mean, we said you're already doing it. But yeah. So, but I got good news because we go from terrible television to obviously the best thing in wrestling today, the gimmick injury report. So, JDC is out with a head injury. Why is he out with a head injury, Brandon?
I believe it was a choke bomb onto a chair by Agent Zero.
Oh, I see. Um, that's interesting because Mara Sade just has a little bit of bruising, but she was cleared. She's cleared. She's fine. From obviously a vicious clothesline from Agent Zero. You call that bruising. You would call that bruising, what that was. And she's cleared. But JDC is not cleared.
I would have to assume I think JDC might have actually gotten a concussion and they're taking him off TV. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, or it probably just wasn't his turn to be on the show this week. It's probably more likely. Yeah, Mara's obviously tougher. Well, that's what we learned. We learned that. I'm glad that we had the gimmick injury report to show us that. But I mean, let's pretend for a second that this isn't total bullshit, right? As far as like, let's take the gender out of it. What is the point of Agent Zero? Like, I'm asking you, like, Brandon, what is the point of Agent Zero in your mind, or as at least the best you can tell with your perception? What is the point of Agent Zero?
I'm guessing if it's to the point where, like, they get outnumbered, so they send in the muscle. Not outnumbered, but if the odds are even and they need that fifth man. I don't know. I'm
right.
I'm reaching. I'm reaching.
Okay. So and what are you trying to establish here with somebody with a character like that? Don't overthink it.
I don't know. I would think maybe you would have the faction in singles, like not really singles, but say you'd have Tasha in a singles match. You'd have the Great Hands in tag match. You'd have Ali in individual, but instead of having the rest of the faction out there, Agent Zero is out there as the bodyguard instead of the rest of the faction.
So what you're saying is essentially he's the heater. And the heater is dangerous, right? Almost too dangerous to just be a wrestler. So when he's there, you are concerned for the well-being of the people that he's going against, or that the Order 4 is going against. Because you're trying to establish that this guy comes in, he's mysterious, he's dangerous, he hurts people, right? That's the whole reason he's there. And he hasn't taken any significant damage either. Anytime he's been attacked, he's just like gotten clotheslined over the ropes and land on his feet and adjusted his tie and whatever. So for all you know, we got like another Undertaker on our hands where he doesn't feel pain or whatever. So you got a giant dangerous guy. And you have him attack two people. And one of them is out and the other one's not. The other one's back next week. So why aren't they both out if that's what you wanted to do?
So what they should have done was take the Mara Sade thing completely out of it and just not even mention it.
Yes. Well, we can't do that because she's going to be in the main event tonight. So you already fucked that, right? But you could have just also not put on the main event. But the point is, he attacked two people that night, only one of them selling it. Now you can add the gender layer on top of it of like, He clotheslined this woman, this much smaller woman than JDC is as a man, and then even much smaller still than Agent Zero is as a person. But she's not going to sell that. She didn't even sell it that night. She just got up. But, whatever. So, yeah.
So they shouldn't have even done the spot then.
Shouldn't have done the spot. If I know why they wanted to do the spot, but they could have. The way they could have done the spot is you just do the thing where you grab the woman and make it seem like you're about to do something, and then she gets saved. But if you're gonna lay hands on her, she's got to sell it, even if it's in TNA, where they act like there is no difference between a man and woman. But then again, why are you trying to do the spot? Why were they trying to act like it's like they don't know what they want to do anymore? Because what was that stuff with Tasha Steelz earlier? When Ali was trying to get some heat on her before we realized it was all a master plan, and they were like, "Oh, how could you do this to a woman?" Like, okay, well, women were champions here, so what are you talking about? We have to reestablish now that women are weak. So you're not doing it with Mars Sade, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's where you have the conundrum. If you try to make men and women equal, then that makes man-on-woman violence mean nothing. It takes all the heat away.
Right. So if we're all equal again, like I said, we're going back to Agent Zero, going back to point zero. You're having him attack people, and only one of them's selling it. So Agent Zero is not as effective. I just don't know why you would. If you don't care to bury Agent Zero, then that's fine. I just assumed that you had plans. But, I mean, obviously I didn't really assume they had plans. I know they're just fucking this up because, what, Tommy Dreamer's in charge? Like, what the fuck does he know about wrestling?
Or do I saw something? You could have told the story of the Hardys are it's going to turn into a handicap match. It's 3-on-2, and then you have Marshall do Spirit of 76 come out for the save.
Spirit bandaged up.
I mean, better than what they did.
She should have a neck brace, the Bobby Heenan neck brace. Well, it doesn't matter. All she got was a little bruising, and she's cleared. Hey, Trey Miguel is cleared. But it's funny because they said that he's finally cleared, and we know he's been hurt all this time. But this time when they said injuries, it said none. So they didn't even put the old injury that he had that's been keeping him out all this time. They just said he has no injuries. Great.
I mean,
I love this segment. It's the best segment. It's the best segment.
I mean, I think I'm assuming what they were going for is that's what his current injury status is right now. But it's like, okay, what was he recovering from? That's what we need to know. We don't need to know we know he's clear. We know he's good, but what was he suffering from?
Right. Yes. I just tuned in. I don't know what's been going on with the Rascals. I need to know. I need to learn. And then they also added a special bonus where Trick Williams, he's claiming, of course, that he was injured, but there are no actual injuries. So that's like a little bonus fourth thing. I don't even think he got a graphic. They were just showing him talking on the phone to his lawyer.
Oh yeah, that was a pre-tape. Oh, that was like some sort of like a pre-tape or something he sent in. I think.
No, that's a different thing. This was like during the gimmick injury report. They showed the footage from last week where he was on the phone with his lawyer, and they voice over saying, even though Trick Williams has claimed that he's suffered some injuries, but the trainers have found no injury or whatever they said. No signs of injury. Hey, speaking of Order 4, Ali does a vignette with music underneath. This is everyone's final warning. You will either stand tall with Order 4 or fall with the system. System doesn't seem very cohesive. They're barely together anymore. You got Moose over here on one hand. JDC's out. Fat Eddie was on last week. He's not on this week. Myers nowhere to be seen. But are they still trying to go with this? Are they trying to go with this, or is Order 4 moved on from the system? I'm not sure.
I think this going. I don't know. probably leading to something Bound for Glory between like an 8-man or something, or a 10 person, I should say.
Holy shit, that would be horrible. Well, it'll probably happen then. So we have a triple threat match for the #1 contendership to the Knockouts title. It's Jody Threat, who technically should have been the #1 contender, but she felt guilty about it. So she tried to offer it to Indy, and then Danny got upset about it. So now she's in the match because of Indy saying just put her in the match. So we got a triple threat now. So you know how I was supposed to monitor Indy Hartwell's progress as of now, Brandon, I sent you something just so you could see it, so you know what I was talking about. Unfortunately,
I laughed at it for all the wrong reasons.
Yes, or the wrong right reasons, because that's definitely what I wanted. That's definitely the reaction I was hoping for. So yeah, I don't have it here for you guys, but if you didn't see the match, it was something to the effect of was it Jody who was going up for something? I think she was going up to the top. Are you going to pull it up?
I'm going to try to pull it up.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we have some footage here.
Oh, hang on.
Because
I'm sorry, I'm not the best at technology.
No, it's fine. I might have been able to try this too, but I much like you, I didn't want to mess it up. But and this is my own proprietary footage, so don't worry about any sort of copyright thing.
Here we go.
Watch this, guys. She wants to win this match. As we see Jody climbing here. Indy Hartwell doesn't really know what she's doing. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Whoop whoop.
Now Jody was also confused, but you know what the spot is, so just do it. Just stand there and pinwheel and wait for Jody to jump. If Jody's not jumping, keep pinwheeling. Keep pinwheeling. Keep pinwheeling. Oh, you know, brother, do you want to go on? You know, that kind of stuff. Don't just stumble towards her, because then she's like, what are you doing? What am I? She froze. Jody froze. Anyway, that's Indy Hartwell. The finish of the match was the gimmick where you just, I don't know, I'll call it pin till you win. You know, where you just keep reversing pins until somebody doesn't kick out. It's a new thing that they've started doing in the past few years that apparently somebody really likes. And Indy is the one who finally cinches up on like a, you know, like it's basically, she didn't do a sunset flip. I don't know if she could without hurting somebody, but it was the sunset flip pin position that ended up pinning Jody Threat. So there you go. Your new #1 contender, Indy Hartwell.
And I'm sure Jody's feeling stupid, being like, well, damn it, I had and I gave it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see if they follow up on that. A little character development for Jody, perhaps.
Magic 8 Ball says, highly doubtful.
Highly doubtful. Hey, remember last week when Eric Young killed Joe Hendry? Remember when he was dead? Why was it? Joe Hendry's fine. He's out here. He comes out, with his music, and he comes to the ring, and he's happy and everything. Like he just does his normal entrance. Why wasn't he on the gimmick injury report for asphyxiation?
Good point.
Cleared of asphyxiation. There was never. You had a guy that was clearly unconscious to some point. He looked like he was choked unconscious by cables, but no injury report. Nothing.
Yeah, you couldn't say damaged larynx or something like that.
Nope. And he ain't gonna sell it either. So I'm sure that Joe Hendry probably I can imagine if Agent Zero closed on Joe Hendry, Agent Zero's arm would just bounce right off because he must have a titanic neck. Anyway, he calls out Eric Young eventually. And then the Armory come out with Eric Young. And oh my God. So I wasn't listening to a word Eric Young says. Basically, he says, I'm not going to fight you now. I'm going to fight you next week. That's basically what he says. So let's get that out of the way first. Instead, the fucking one of the cheese sandwiches is trying not to be a cheese sandwich. He's trying to be grilled. He's trying to have tomatoes. He's trying to do whatever he wants. He's off to one side. It's the one with the hair. I'm never going to learn these guys' names on purpose. Okay? I'm not going to give them that.
The Timu Wheeler Yuta?
Oh yes. If you thought there was a bootleg of Wheeler Yuta, this is definitely it. He makes Wheeler Yuta look like the real Bryan Danielson. So he's over there and he's just he's constantly I don't know, undulating is the word, I guess. His body's just looks like he's, I don't know. He's just, what is he doing? And he keeps making these faces. He's he looks like a fish that's dying, suffocating. A fish is suffocating, being in the air. That's what he's doing with his mouth. I'm like, what is he, can he just, the other guy's just
trying to tell us he needs water.
Well, no one gave it to him. But wow, this guy trying to have a personality that's the one thing sadder than not having a personality. It's trying to have one, because then you end up just looking like you're trying to have one. I don't know. Just, what's the old saying? Take 2 weeks off and quit the business. Let's see. Santino informs Leon that the Rascals are cleared. Leon seems very happy about that. I guess he didn't watch the gimmick entry report either, so. But now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. Here's the thing you were talking about earlier. We got an X from Trick, an X post. Where he basically says, I ain't showing up to Minnesota. And that's that. And then we get our main event, which is Mara and the Hardys, or the Martys, if you will, versus Order 4. Here's my note for this match. John Skyler is so fat.
He's fat!
He's fat. He's fatter than ever. I swear he's going to have a heart attack or something. Plus, he's fat.
He's fat. Your birthday sounds like I'm a Twinkie or something.
Goddamn. I just, I guess he realizes whatever. I've got a spot now. It's I don't have to try.
Yeah, you think? Really you'd think if you're given a ball like that, you'd want to run with it and do better.
Right. He's actually gotten some wins, the hands have gotten a couple wins on TV, and he has food money now from the winner's purse. He's able to actually eat. And since Fat Eddie wasn't on this show.
Well, guess who gets catering tonight?
Right. See, but he's not even as like Fat Eddie isn't even as fat as John Schuyler is now, and
I
Eddie still wears a shirt.
saw something too. Sammy's gone, so that's like no competition at the catering table tonight.
Right. Yeah. Don't you guys over there at TNA don't think that you have to have some obese guy on your roster. It's not like a mandate. You don't have to have one round guy, you know? So I don't know, man. If you're gonna go down this route, Skyler, get the singlet top like fucking Myers does. 'Cause Myers is fat, but like he's trying to hold it in with tight clothes so that you can't tell. We can all tell. Just for the record, Brian, we can all tell. But at least we appreciate you trying to like cover that shit up because nobody wants to see it. So
There was a reason why I wore long tights because I tied my chicken legs.
mm-hmm. Yep. And with knee pads, even even gives a little more leg size. The knee pads. Just it's nothing worse than when a guy has no legs, but he also like doesn't wear knee pads. Is like even with the long tights, like it just really without that extra, you know,
Yeah, give it a little bit of extra mask, like they don't know it's a knee pad.
yeah, the aesthetics of it. It just looks good. The gear, the certain things. Anyway, I guess because he's so fat, they chose to all do their finishers on him because it would be the softest. So Matt Hardy hits the twist of fate, and then Mara does a moonsault on him, and then Jeff does a swanton on him, on his fat stomach, and then they win, and then Order 4 just kind of fucks off, and the Zigglers attack, and so they do like a double danger zone to the Hardys, I guess. And then when it's nothing but Mara Sade left telling off Dolph Ziggler, he's like, okay, all right, fine. And then he super kicks her. Oh my God. The bruising. So this is twice now that a man has assaulted this woman on TNA programming. And we'll see if she sells this one. I also found it a little bit interesting that the Order 4 is here. There was no Agent Zero here. Right? Tasha was there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you could have easily explained that way by having Santana be like, "No, I've seen enough of this. You two to the back."
Didn't do it. So I guess he just wasn't there. He probably didn't make the trip to Minnesota. So he's not there. We don't follow up on anything we've done. Even just him standing there would have been like, you have the tension of like, is he going to hit her again? Right? But nothing.
So many things missed.
Yeah, and then you got Dolph super kicking her, so there that goes. Now it just looks kind of ridiculous. Like she just looks like she's just there as a punching bag or a training dummy, you know? Like guys could just hit their moves on her or whatever. Just why? I just got here. Do I have that much heat already? All I did was paint a picture for the Hardys. Why does everybody hate me? I have a lollipop with a lollipop holder. Why do you hate me? I don't know. But the Zigglers do the double belt hold at the end, so yeah, there it is. There's your TNA Impact episode. It was a live episode. It was like we talked about, the weird, awkward transitions between the breaks on at least the YouTube feed. Guess it didn't look that bad on television, but who's watching Access TV anyway? Um, and then what you had on the show was a bunch of nothing, and I'd be mad if I came to see that, and that's what I got. I went to a TNA show, and all I saw of Moose was him backstage with Mike Santana for 2 minutes. Yeah, I'd be pretty disappointed. But I'm sure they'll all be back for the next set of tapings, right? So we'll get to see Moose versus AJ Francis.
It should be this Thursday. Whoop whoop.
Can't wait. But that's it for us. Until next Thursday, what do you Thursday and beyond, what do you got going on?
Let's see. Tonight, once about 15 minutes, once the show is over, picking back up with the Raw watch along. Tomorrow, we got the late start NXT watch along after the A show. Wednesday, we got the Dynamite watch along and belt count. Thursday, we got the Impact watch along and belt count. Friday, we got a bit of a block party Friday. We got SmackDown watch along and then followed up with AAA Worlds Collide. And then Saturday, we got HMG After Dark. Not sure what we're doing for that. Probably a movie. That's kind of up in the air. And then Sunday, HMG After Dark. Not sure what we're doing with that yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. Whoop, whoop.
Well, there's no shortage of classic films that you need to watch. So just be sure to pick one of those. Also, as far as the Raw watch along is concerned, going forward, interestingly, there was another minor piece of news that Raw is shifting backwards 1 hour. So that actually almost gives us a nice lead in. People can be watching Raw and then they tune into the Impact tag after instead of halfway through. If it goes 2.5 hours, that's just about perfect. So, yeah, starting whenever. I don't know if they did they announce the date, but it's going to move back to 4 or 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific.
That is actually next Monday.
Okay, so it is next Monday. All right. So that works out. As for me, Opinion Ever Everywhere, all the same shows, Wrestling with Rick Rogers, Stevie Richards Show, Limpin' Ain't Easy, Attending Baltimore, buy JTG's book, pretty much everything. So, be back here in a few minutes. And for Brandon, I'm the vet, and I don't have a sign-off line.